back to Mad Movie Reviews, where we talk about, well, you probably already guessed it, movies.
These are movies that we thought were great, good, or were just plain terrible.
I am your host, Michelle, and I am here with my co-host,
Dave!
Today we are talking about the movie The Detonator, starring Wesley Snipes. This is a movie that we both have never seen before. It starts off with Wesley Snipes looking like he's dead on the ground.
Yeah, he's passed out on the ground. He's got a nice little flip phone in his hand, like a prepaid flip phone. By the way, this movie is directed by Ho Chi Leon. Wesley Snipes is in it, so it can't be bad. It's got to be good, right?
I don't know. I think good actors choose bad movies, and this was a bad choice.
Let's just get started with it. So, like she said, it started off with him on the ground, and then the detonator detonated.
Did it though? Did it ever detonate in the movie?
In the beginning, it detonated.
When?
In the beginning, when he was on the ground.
I just saw him on the
Oh,
ground.
maybe I'm tripping then, but I thought the detonator detonated.
I don't remember. The detonator is the virus thing, isn't it? They never detonated it.
Okay, they didn't detonate the detonator, but they did detonate the detonator at the very beginning.
But why is it called the detonator?
Because it detonated.
But it never did.
Only in the beginning.
No.
Let us know in the comments. Did the detonator detonate in the beginning?
It's funny because this movie is so confusing. Okay, after that part where we see Wesley Snipes laying on the ground, so I guess they're showing you the end of the movie at the beginning, and then it goes to this guy breaking into a Resident Evil type of lab and stealing a T virus.
Yeah, it looked just like a T virus. And I think that's what's supposed to detonate. So that's the whole concept of the movie, is this T virus that we may or may not talk about later, because I don't really know if they really covered it, but just keep that in mind.
After that guy steals the virus, he blows up the facility. Next, we see the female lead. Oh, and another thing about this movie is that they don't really say people's names. And then when they do finally say somebody's name, you don't hear the name towards the end of the movie. We meet the female lead, who is going to be Wesley Snipes' love interest. You see her stealing money, but then they zoom away from her, and you see this guy sitting in the chair with his eyes open. He looks awake, but then when they pan the camera closer to him, he looks like he was strangled and just sitting there dead.
Yeah, I thought he was just sitting there at first, and he was just like watching her take the money. Maybe he got off on it some kind of way. And then you look closely, he's gone.
Yeah.
He got detonated.
I'm thinking at this point when she's looking at a picture of a little boy and thinking maybe she's doing this for her son. Now we meet Wesley Snipes' character, which I don't remember his character's name at all. So we're just going to go ahead and call him Wesley. Do you remember his name? Wesley Snipes is on his last job, but he always says this is his last job. Wesley is heading to his not last job with these three males. I have no clue who they are. They pull up to a soccer arena, and I'm not really sure why Wesley is there. Is he trying to buy money from them or drugs from them?
Wesley Snipes is in the back of the arena there waiting, and there's a soccer game that's taking place, so the noise and everything and the crowd is going crazy. But he is downstairs in a little hidden area with these gun suppliers. They're actually working a gun transaction, and Wesley Snipes is playing this character for that transaction. He's playing this extreme feminine gay guy. He does a really good job with his role. It's actually hilarious.
Yeah, he's trying to make them feel like he's not a threat. Then they get a call on the phone saying that he's a cop.
He's the popo.
But Wesley's like, nah, I'm not a cop. I'm not a cop. They're getting mad because they think he's a cop. So then they start to fight, and his inner blade comes out, and he takes them out, but keeps Dimitri alive and cuffs him. He says, who called you on the phone? Wesley does a little torturing. He's not getting any answers from Dimitri, so he leaves the building, and upon leaving, he gets arrested.
This is the point where they actually tell us who Wesley Snipes is. So we get his name. His name is actually Griff.
Oh, Griff.
It wasn't until this part that it actually got to the point where they told us what his name was. So he's there, and of course, they're going to let him free because he is Homeland Security.
Or CIA. But the thing that was so confusing about the movie, they were saying, is he CIA? Is he Homeland? Is he FBI? So it was a little confusing to figure out what he really was in the beginning of the movie. So while the cops are talking to him, trying to figure out why he's there and who he is, because he's a wanted man, people are looking for him because he murdered a man or set a man on fire. fire.
Detonated.
Yeah. A new character comes into the scene, and I'm going to call him Rich Man, but his name is really hard to
I think it's
pronounce.
like Boskanetsky or something.
Boskanetsky, yeah.
Boskanetsky.
But again, we did not learn his name until like the middle or end of the movie. So I'm just going to call him Rich Guy. He's the villain of the movie. He's the big bad. And they want to show you how, I guess, this rich man has this stick type weapon on his desk. And the henchman is asking him, "What is this?" And he's like, "It's a weapon." And he stabs him with it. And the guy's dead.
Detonated.
We have Wesley at the police station, and he's talking with these two cops. One is Shepard, and the other one is Flint, and Flint is Shepard's boss. And they're asking him, "What are you doing here?" He is saying, "I'm here because I'm after a Romanian gangsta."
Griff and Shepard go back. They did some work together before. Flint, the boss, is a little skeptical on Griff, which is, of course, Wesley Snipes. I don't want you guys to get confused. Griff, he does something with Homeland Security, and that's where we were kind of confused along the way because they mentioned CIA, but I think they were saying, "You're not CIA. You're not supposed to be here," since CIA does operations overseas. So maybe he was previously FBI or something like that. But it's something along the lines of Homeland Security. So they're going to let him go. They uncuff him, and they're giving him a bunch of questions. And this is where the suspicion with the cops kind of start to build. You start to think is something else really going on with a bossy ball.
I'm honestly still confused on who Wesley Snipes is working for. And also at the time that Wesley Snipes is at the police station, they also have Dimitri in a room and they are going to interrogate him. But later on, we see him leaving the police station and giving Wesley Snipes the middle finger. Have no idea why he left.
I think they had a lot to hold him on, or they were going to use him to lead the trail to get to, the bossy boss, rich guy.
That's right. They let him go because they wanted to follow him. This movie is so confusing. So they let Dimitri go and he heads over to the rich man's house. Rich guy is talking to the henchman saying, "I need to find more info about this Wesley guy." And at this point, I'm thinking the cops want to set Wesley up. I don't know, something is off.
It gives you the impression that the cops are crooked and it always wants you to watch out for Flint.
Wesley is meeting up with some guy. I don't know who he is, but he's showing him a picture of the lady in the beginning of the movie, which her name is Nadia. He gives Wesley a picture to find her. Then it flashbacks to Wesley setting a very bad man on fire. He likes to call bad men bad man. I don't know. It's his thing in the movie. Then he thanks the guy that he's meeting with for bailing him out. He goes to the CIA safe house where he meets up with Rufus, who's Homeland Security. I'm thinking, well, maybe Wesley is Homeland Security. They're there waiting for Nadia, which I don't understand. Why did the guy give the picture to Wesley to find her if she was already going to the CIA house? Back to Dimitri, where he goes into this house where maybe it's a whorehouse. I have no idea why he goes in that house, but he comes right out and you see the cops are following him. Now Wesley is at the CIA safe house and he meets Nadia and he gets butterflies all in his tummy.
Yeah, she came down the stairs in slow motion and, the wind was blowing even though they're indoor in a house. And she comes down and grabs a slice of pizza, takes a bite and walks back upstairs.
Back at Rich Guy's house, he's mad, telling Dimitri he learned that Wesley Snipes is ex-CIA. So we learned there that he's CIA. Or was CIA.
I think he might have been.
We're still not sure who he's working for.
Right.
This movie is very confusing. We were both lost and trying our best to make sense of it because they're going back and forth so much, and the way that they're telling the story, they're not telling it very well, so you have to piece things together. Plus, Nadia, she's really hard to understand, and so are some of the other characters, and there was no closed caption, so we could turn it on to see what they're saying, so that added to the confusion.
They also said that when the CIA found her, she was trying to flee with a lot of money. They found her husband dead, which Michelle described at the beginning. So they're thinking she did it. And she doesn't seem sad in the safe house. She's just hungry and wants cold pizza, I guess.
This next scene is funny because we're back at Rich Guy's house and he smacks Dimitri because Dimitri didn't tell him who Wesley Snipes was.
Smack my Michi up.
And he tells him to go have a timeout like a child. You go stand in the corner. We're back at the CIA house. Wesley got to go to the wee room, and they're like, it's upstairs. So while going upstairs, he has this soccer ball. I have no idea where he got the soccer ball from, but he's carrying this soccer ball.
Fall down the stairs.
I don't know, because I think he grabbed it and like threw it at the guy.
Yeah, but it fell down the stairs just randomly.
Right.
No one kicked it because these guys who she's getting ready to describe, where did the soccer ball come from?
Where did it come from?
Where did it go?
He was holding the soccer ball. They get ambushed. And
Cotton Eye Joe.
while Wesley Snipes is going upstairs, he sees this guy and they both freeze for a second. Wesley throws the soccer ball at the guy and knocks him out. And then a shootout happens.
There was a lot of butt kicking and a lot of action going on. Wesley Snipes was getting his blade in, but I'm still stuck on that soccer ball. Where did the soccer ball just randomly come from? It looked like it went from a action film to a love story to a horror flick for that second that that ball bounced out the stairs to back to action.
To also a virus somewhere.
Yeah.
The virus is somewhere.
And a detonator, but we'll get to
that. Of course, Nadia gets taken. Wesley goes and saves her.
Come find me. It just for those that know, that's that Match commercial.
Wesley is the hero. Nadia can't stand Wesley. They're bickering and she's always saying mean things to him. She doesn't like him. The cops come to the scene. Wesley and Nadia are getting away and he asks her, what's going on? He says, I won't ask you again. But he does ask her again and he says, what is going on? And at this point, I don't know about Nadia. I think she's lying. Like, I don't know what Nadia's angle is, but I'm very suspicious of her. She says her husband was stealing money, and I am like, was it 3 million or was it 30 million? Because again, she was hard to understand. But when I read the back of the movie sleeve, it says $30 million. He stole $30 million from rich guy. Rich guy thinks that she has the money, and she says it's in the bank. Wesley and his love interest, Nadia, get 2 hotel rooms. But of course, the movie needs some tension. Like I said before, she has this attitude towards Wesley. And of course, he's getting more butterflies in his belly. After he saves her, she's telling him off. And then, of course, she apologizes because he saved her life. Now that they're in these hotel rooms, Wesley's thinking, who is the snitch? And how did they find the safe house? Nadia is telling Wesley, if the rich guy finds me, I'm dead. If I give him the money, he's going to kill me. Basically, she's a liability. But shocker, she has the money, claiming she's innocent. There's a shotgun on one of the beds in the room. She grabs the shotgun and then he handcuffs her.
He also told her it wasn't loaded. She was thinking about shooting him and he said it's not loaded. And then Hot Pockets looked like she was defeated and set it down.
Hot Pocket?
Yeah, Hot Pockets. Because he liked old cold pizza, remember?
Oh, yeah. Wesley calls Shepard to find out how the snitch knew where the safe house was. Shepard tells him, I'm trying to find out who the snitch is. In the meantime, I'll take you to another safe house. And Wesley's like, nah, I got this.
Yeah, because his houses aren't that safe. And Griff is kind of suspicious, thinking that Shepard might be double-crossing him some kind of way.
Flint tells Shepard, you need to take care of this problem. You need to get rid of Wesley, which I took it as kill him? I'm not sure. Shepard goes to a CIA analyst or tech guy. I'm not sure what he is, so I'm just going to call him tech guy, and tells him to find the snitch.
Yeah, this guy was the lead analyst there, and I would consider him the Chloe, right, of 24. Wasn't that Chloe?
Who?
Or
Yeah, Chloe.
Yeah, he's kind of like that, but works with CIA back in the day during flip phone times, and he's going to find out who the snitch is. This movie's all about catching snitches, not Detonator. It should be the Snitchinator.
Snitchinator, yeah. Then they bring us back to Wesley and Nadia, where they're getting to know you. So they're getting to know you, getting to know all about you. You know, that part in the movie where they really fall in love.
Get close. Slow music, key, slow music, slow movement.
And she's like, have you ever been married? And he's like, yeah, but she left in the middle of the night.
That marriage got detonated.
Of course, that made sense to the lady because she can't stand Wesley. She thinks that she would probably leave him in the middle of the night too. And then she asks him, have you ever lost anybody important? And she begins to break down and cry. And this part made me think when she was looking at the photo of a little boy in the beginning of the movie, maybe he's dead. Next scene, Wesley is meeting up with Shepard. who says he has a tech guy looking into who the snitch is. And he tells Wesley he needs to be careful. Now we're back at the hotel room, and Wesley knows that Dimitri is following him.
This is where the importance of in the beginning where he got two rooms. Him and Nadia were in one room, but he got another room at the other end of the hotel where he set everything up to lead them onto this whole ruse because he knew he was going to be followed. They followed him to that spare bedroom where he set up some type of explosion for when they made entry. They made entry. He hid under a fireproof mattress. You need one of those mattresses.
For real.
And the explosion went off. This mattress protected him. Bad guys went flying. They got detonated. He was okay. It was fireproof. And he flipped the fireproof mattress off and went to go get Nadia down at the other end of the hotel.
Wait. Is that why he's called the Detonator? Because of this one explosion?
Maybe. Yeah.
There's explosions happening. There's shooting happening. Men are burning and screaming.
I would rather just get detonated than get under a old hotel mattress.
What about the bathtub? Of course, the lady gets grabbed again. Wesley's going after her. After another explosion, they both get knocked out. Wesley wakes up to Nadia holding the gun at him. He's like, oh shit, she about to shoot me. But she doesn't. She shoots Dimitri, who's right behind Wesley. I think she shoots him in the arm.
Yeah, she shot him enough to stop him, but she didn't kill him. So I think he did take like a hit in the upper torso area somewhere.
Yeah. Wesley and Nadia get in the car trying to get away because there is one person still alive from the shootout and they're chasing them. These chasing scenes are horrible.
Yeah, wait, is this the one where the back window or the background was always the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're driving, and then the background, if you guys watch the movie, they do the thing where in their car and their hands are moving left and right. You don't really need to do all that to steer. But then in the backdrop, it's an orange type color. And then when they show the scene from a different angle, like everything is green, it didn't match up. I think they took it from a different movie and just popped it in
Yeah,
there.
it was like two different movies in one scene.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Wesley takes his shotgun and shoots the guy's car. Guy gets hit by a truck and dies. Of course, Wesley and Nadia live to see another day. Shepard's in Flint's office and he's angry with Flint. They can't find Wesley and they need to find out who the snitch is. And they're making it seem like it's Flint who is the snitch. So Shepard is starting to get suspicious of Flint because Flint's pressing him so hard. Shepard goes to the CIA tech guy because he's under pressure. He asks the tech guy, did you find any information? And the camera turns and you see Flint looking a little suspicious.
Yeah, he gave us it's me look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's me.
Wesley and Nadia find a new place to hide because they're not going to any safe house while Shepard is at Dimitri's. Some random man runs out. I guess the whorehouse was Dimitri's place, so Shepard is outside waiting for Dimitri to come out. This wasn't really explained that well. And then some random man runs out, and I guess Dimitri escaped another way, so Shepard beats him up because he isn't Dimitri. While this random guy is getting beat up, Dimitri heads over to the rich guy's house. They're talking by the pool, and this scene is so stupid. Rich man really wants Nadia, but Dimitri couldn't deliver. So he shoots him 2 times, and Dimitri hits the ground, and then rich guy's 2 henchmen throw him in the pool. And I'm like, why? Now they have to clean blood out the pool.
That made no sense to me at all. The logic behind it to be that rich, that smart, that was dumb. Maybe they have a garbage disposal at the bottom of the pool or something. That's the only thing I could think of. Why would you throw the guy in your clean pool?
Hey, I'm thinking when I saw Dimitri and rich guy by the pool, oh, he's gonna torture him. He's gonna drown him. No, no. Just throws him in the pool after he's dead. I was like, that scene didn't make any sense. Wesley corners Shepard and he's saying what's going on, and Shepard's apologizing. They're talking about Shepard finding any information on the snitch, where he tells him about Flint pressuring him, and Wesley is starting to get suspicious of Flint. Shepard heads to Flint and Flint tells him, hey, rich guy's soccer team is playing tomorrow.
Yeah, go back to the arena stadium and you get the guy there because they're really obsessed with soccer. Everyone's going to be there. This is the last game for the championship, so it's going to be packed.
Then Shepard lets Wesley know, hey, rich guy's soccer team is going to be playing tomorrow. Head over that way. Tech guy is still doing a deep dive.
Not as good as Chloe. Chloe would have had it in like 2 minutes.
Right. Wesley and Nadia are falling in love. There's some more getting to know you. It's so boring. No chemistry.
Hot Pockets and dirty mattress.
While they're talking, Nadia quietly opens a drawer and finds a cell phone. She grabs it and hides it. How convenient. Tech Guy is on the run because they know he was searching the databases and hacking. Oh, we see Flynn on a suspicious call saying he doesn't trust anybody and he needs help. The Tech Guy meets up with Shepard and gives him a disc. And this is where we learn Tech Guy's name, Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Yeah, so the movie's almost over and we learned that his name is Mitchell. Mitchell is telling Shepard, hey, watch your back and just be careful. Mitchell heads to the train station carrying a copy of the disc and he's being followed. He gets on the train, but he's very scared, and he should be. There's a man after him. The man gets on the train too and asks Mitchell, where is the disc?
This is the same dummy that pushed the guy in the pool, made the pool all bloody. So he wants to know where the disc is now.
He hits Mitchell. They tussle. Mitchell gets off the train as the doors are closing. But the man is determined, so he jumps out the train window. Can they do that? I've never seen that happen before.
I doubt it.
Yeah. He attacks Mitchell, pushes him to the ground, and he sees the disc. And then bends down to grab it and gets Spartacus kicked in front of the train. But don't worry, he lives because he Spider-Man the wall. And I think this was actually the best part of the movie, and it was funny. That's the only best thing I can say.
Now get this, I'm not that great in shape, but this guy had a nice big beer belly. How did he tuck that in when that train rolled by? It's just like it's a lot of too many flaws in this movie, but
Didn't even think about that.
he looks just like Boris. You know Boris from Golden Gun, 007 for Nintendo? He's just like that. So that's
Boris and Natasha?
the Golden Gun.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
game.
Boris and Natasha. Oh, okay, no.
Okay.
Oh, Boris and Natasha, the cartoon.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, back to the movie. Wesley is falling in love some more with Nadia. She puts on this sexy dress and then she goes to sleep. I don't understand because she doesn't wear the dress like any time in the rest of the movie. So she just puts the dress on to go to sleep. So that way she could just be sexy and walk out the door and just, Wesley could just drool all over her, I guess. I don't know. They talk some more before they leave, and she asks, does he have any children? And then she says, because we do it for the children. She heads to the shower and cries some more, and this is where she makes a call with the cell phone that she found in the drawer. While that happens, the soccer stadium is filled and the game is getting started. Nadia sets Wesley up, and a bunch of guys come through the door. Wesley gets knocked out and wakes up in a car with a strange man to tell him Nadia set him up and they're going to kill her. Her husband stole the $30 million. Nadia's in another vehicle while Wesley beats these men up to crash the car. And we learn that Nadia's son is alive, but the men have him. So that's why she made that call, because they have her son.
So take these broken wings. I don't know why this song just popped in my head.
And now that the car is crashed, Wesley needs some transportation, so he grabs a motorcycle and takes off while Rich Guy has Nadia and slapping her.
Where'd he get the motorcycle from?
I don't know. I think he just picked it up off the
In every action movie, there's a motorcycle.
It was there.
You always have to get a motorcycle.
Right, yeah.
I'd be the only one who doesn't know how to ride a motorcycle.
It was just up there for him to have.
How was the backdrop with that one? I didn't pay attention to that.
No, because it happened so fast. I don't think they really showed.
Like the Kanye West, Kim Kardashian video, that type of motorcycle, right?
Yeah, no, they didn't show too much of him on the motorcycle. I don't think. I'll be honest with you guys. This movie was so boring. The way the storytelling was, it was so confusing and hard to follow. Now, the Resident Evil virus comes into play.
Why does he want to give the guy broken wings? Take these broken wings.
I don't know.
You never thought about that? Reach your hand and fly away. Okay, come on, let's finish.
Okay, all right. We head to the soccer stadium with Rich Guy, who hates Americans, and he is trying to make a deal with Virus Guy. Virus Guy is nervous because he doesn't know Nadia, but Rich Guy tells him she has nothing to worry about. Nadia asks to see her son, so they bring him in.
They want to win the game so they could take the bomb that he has to the United States, because if they win here, then they get to play the United States. So the goal is to send that bomb over here and detonate it.
And that's why he said he hates Americans. The Rich Guy doesn't want to pay what the original deal was, and he tells Virus Guy, how do I know if this is going to work? So the Virus Guy turns it on, and Rich Guy's, ooh, Woohoo! So excited. While this is happening, Wesley is trying his hardest to get to the stadium to the love of his life, Nadia. Now that Rich Guy knows the machine works, Virus Guy wants his money, and Rich Guy tells Nadia he needs that money her husband stole. How do you even set a meeting and not have the money secured? Wesley shows up and he's beating people up. Rich Guy threatens Nadia that he will cut off boys' fingers.
That's something else that's common. Every movie we watch, everybody wants to cut off fingers.
Fingers, yeah. Then the lights get turned out and a shootout begins. Pew pew! The boy gets away, Wesley and Nadia find each other, and they try to get out of the stadium. More shooting, pew pew pew, and the boy's being held by train guy, but Wesley snaps his neck. Crowd goes crazy from gunshots. Wesley, Nadia, and the boy get away, but he loses Nadia in the crowd, of course, and she gets taken. He leaves the little boy just in a random spot with all these people just running by, and anybody could grab him. And he goes to look for Nadia. Rich Guy shoots her in the leg, but Wesley comes in for the save and stabs him to death. Just keeps stabbing him. And then after that, Wesley meets up with Shepard. They head to Flint's office with guns. Shepard finds Flint and puts him under arrest, and Mitchell backs him up. But Flint says they set him up. Flint's like, nah, it's not me. They set me up. Wesley calls a phone and Shepard's phone rings, and he is the real traitor. He is the real snitch. How did Wesley know he was a snitch? They never explained that. They never showed that he thought he was the traitor. There was nothing hinting that he knew, so I guess it happened off screen, that he was suspicious of Shepard.
So Shepard is a bad guy.
So now everybody's got their guns out. Shepard shoots Wesley, and that is Wesley's last job. Is he really dead? A funeral for Wesley happens. And shocker, Wesley, Nadia, and Boy aren't dead, and they ride off into the sunset. So that was really his last job.
With the top down.
That's not his last
He
job.
was supposed to be dead at the funeral. Everything was supposed to be hidden and undercover. Pretend, so you could just walk away and be free. But let's pull off from the funeral with the top down, be inconspicuous. And they were playing Take These Broken Wings. No,
Oh.
I just can't get the song out of my head.
So they didn't really have too much trivia. They had one trivia, and I was like, nah, it wasn't worth mentioning. So I'm going to read some of the titles of the reviews that people put on IMDb. I just want to say that the budget was $15 million, but I'm thinking they probably only made like $1 million off this movie.
There's no way they spent $15 million on this.
They did.
It went straight in somebody's pocket.
Yeah, okay, so I just want to mention that the guy who created this movie created 3 other movies. He wrote, I think, and directed them. And Wesley Snipes is in another one of his movies, and there is no way I'm watching that other movie, because if this was terrible, I know that other one is just as bad. So this is what some of the people said on IMDb. One person says, another washed up actor star in yet another poor film set in Eastern Europe.
Someone else said, an interesting movie.
But they gave it a 3 out of 10. Another person said Snipes went off and detonated his career.
Someone else said badly written. The execution is even worse.
And they gave him a 1 out of 10. The next person said, I'm surprised it made it as far as direct to video.
And someone else said, oh, Wesley, what happened to you?
And that person gave him a 5 out of 10. I think that was very generous, a 5 out of 10, because I give it a 1 out of 10. I give it a 0 out of 10. This movie is so horrible. No, you know what? I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10 because that one action scene in the train.
Where did that 15 million go? I have to give it a 2.3. I don't know why, because I thought of cool songs while we were doing this review, and I thought Hot Pockets was kind of interesting, and Dirty Mattress scene was also interesting.
Thanks so much for listening. Until next time, bye.
Detonator.